is Ghandieze Reckley. I'm 36 years old. I was involved in a car accident.
Okay.
And I hit my chest to the steering wheel. So I probably took like 2 months. I found that there was a lump in my chest. I was diagnosed at 23.
Oh,
So I
wow.
went to the doctor and I'm like, okay, so there's a lump in my chest. Okay, fine. Piece of the lump or whatever, send it off, call back. Hello, sir. You didn't call me back to let me know what was going on with the lump. He said, okay, fine, it isn't cancerous.
Okay.
So I'm feeling like, whoo, touch that bullet.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a few short months later, that same breast developed another lump. I do my research. I was Google Queen. I went back to the doctor. And so what he did was he gave me a blue card that says, return in 3 months. It was like when I went home, the lump said, okay, try me. So at this time, I'm like, why is this lump being so aggressive? I Google it, I say, mother flip, I have breast cancer.
You
So
diagnosed yourself?
I did. So I'm like up there with a onesie on. No bra, no nothing at this point. Someone needs to give me answers. Went there with my blue card. Next. I say, miss, something going on with me and I think it's breast cancer. I can't wait for the 3 months. The lady look at me, she did the card like this, she pushed it, she said, see you in 3 months. Honey, listen, when I say that surgical clinic that morning was full down my onesie. And I turned to the crowd and I said, now, who in here thinks that I do not need to see a doctor and that I need to come back in 3 months? Everyone looking at me like, ooh, child, she crazy. And I still had my onesies up down and I went into the office. I said, I'm 23 years old. This is my life. I said, and the doctor told me to come back in 3 months. In 3 months, I'm sure my family would have been singing, it is well. Now let's get on to the doctor now. He looks at me. Let's keep in mind now, he has a team of interns in his office, feeling up the good and the bad breasts. And it's more guys than girls. I'm like, what's going on here? But anyway, I'm waiting like,
I just want to know.
what is this man gonna tell me? He's like, okay, you have stage 4 breast cancer. Oh yeah? He said, yeah, you have stage 4 breast cancer. So what we need to do is we need to cut off the breast. He said, yeah, I give you like maybe 2.5 years to live. I'm speaking to him and I'm like, okay, so what's the next step? Oh, I got to schedule you take the breast off. And I said, well, son, my Google research, if you cut cancer spread. He said, but miss, and he's right. So, you're not gonna cut off my breast. So what I'm gonna need to do is find a first, second, third, fourth, 500,000 opinions because it's not going to be you. He's like, fine, if you want to die.
What?
And
No!
Yes, and honey, I let me not say I stumbled there. I just walk it. I say, thank you very much, sir. You guys enjoy those room, and everybody recommended Dr. Delton Farquharson. I went to him, and he was really, really professional with me. Administered chemotherapy to me before we removed the breast, and then I did some more chemo thereafter. When I did the chemotherapy, when I say the lump disappeared, my breasts returned back to normal. But because the cancer was aggressive, he said you could either do a double mastectomy or you could just cut off the breast that offends you. And I said, okay, I'll just cut off. You're sick. You be all in your feelings, honey. I don't even know what he said. So, like, I had a few friends around me who just could not take me being sick. And because I knew that the only person that could have gotten me through this was God, I just remained focused in that aspect. I had the full support of my sister, my mom, my dad, and like at some point, so my dad, like when I was doing chemotherapy, I already make up inside my mind, miss, you're gonna have to have these lovely dinners with the toilet bowl, and so I have a pillow, I have a blanket, and I'm playing music. Like there were times when like I would be making joke, and my daddy would be like, "Just cry. This is too much for you. Just cry." And then he started crying. And I'm like, "Well, if you cry and I still gotta vomit, what sense of me?" What we could do? My demeanor never changed. I was still happy-go-lucky. Like for me, it just was. This is your test. This is your trial, and it depends on you how you deal with this. I don't know if I would have come through it, but I was always positive. And I never, ever, ever wavered to the do was say, "Lord, I thank you."
Your foundation.
My mom.
Your mom.
And she's no longer here. She passed 2015. Yeah. She saw me through that horrible race. I miss her every day. I miss her every day. And like, you know, there will always be a lot more words that you just can't put on paper. She was a really, really good mom. Very humble, prayer warrior, and her faith was embedded in Christ. To my mommy, when God wrote the scripture about a virtuous woman, He definitely had you in mind. I am honored to have had you in my life as my mom for 31 years. You instilled great principles, values, and morals in both my sister and I. You were my rock, my anchor, and now my angel. Going through breast cancer was the most toughest time in my life. You held my hand as God held ours. You said, "Baby, whatever God brings you to, He will bring you through." I can hear your prayers coming from the front room, down the hallway as you travailed to God for my healing. I find myself still in disbelief. I find myself still in disbelief that you are gone from your earthly role being my mom. But I want to tell you, thank you, and I love you. And you were definitely the definition of a mother. So you know I can't do this to my husband, right? Jesus, I don't know. I think I'll fall if I have to. Like God made no mistake as to the persons that He put in your life when you're going through a tough time. And you just have to be grateful. Like for me, at 23, all I was thinking about was, my God, I have one breast. And in 2010, I developed a condition called lymphedema with the arm because they had to remove the majority of the lymph nodes from under my arm. So my arm used to be like swell. Like if you would pass me, you'd be like, yes, you know how payments just like to inject themselves in anything. Believe this thing with a BA, you know, stuff like that. And my husband made it possible for me to. We found a doctor in Paris. Her name is Corinne Becker, and I did a lymph node transfer. You remove lymph nodes from the groin area and you put it underneath your arm.
Okay.
So my arms definitely went down tremendously, and I keep the sleeve on because I'm still healing from the mastectomy. So, you know, I just keep it on so that I could give this arm a fighting chance as I heal from this process. But he's definitely been there. I said to him, I said, babe, if I have to take off this next breast, something gonna need to replace it. And he's like, so you want to do reconstructive surgery? I said, yes. And he works really, really hard, you know, to make sure that me and his daughter have everything we need. And I appreciate him. And I love him for that. And so with me looking back to all that I have been through, like I see it as the ashes that I've been through, that God is, you know, giving me the beauty for my ashes. And He placed my husband in my life for this time and for this season. And so for that, I am definitely grateful. Hey, babe. I am at an interview for breast cancer survivors, and the lady says that I have to have a conversation with you to let you know how grateful I am that God has placed you in my life for such a time as this. Considering that you could have chosen any other female, God forbid, I just want you to know that I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you for being in my life. I thank you for talking it out with me, even though I know sometimes I make you mad. Thank you for being my rock. Thank you for being my anchor. And thank you for being in my life. You can be a real survivor, and you can survive breast cancer.